2 weeks ago, I was at Argonne Laboratory for the first international lithium-ion battery. Khalil Amin works at Argonne, and he was good enough to show me a chemistry that that Argonne had developed, and it gets 40 miles to the gallon. It has manganese. It's everything that he says it's the best that they can find, and they have licensed it. They have licensed it to Toda, a Japanese company, and Toda says they're going to produce it in Canada. How does that work, that our federal tax dollars can go to create something and then be licensed by another country and produced in another country?
Well, if there's not a barrier against it, the people who are involved, particularly if they're scientific and technical people, are going to go with the best, on the whole, scientific and technical solution. And it may well be that this company is good and would do a good job. What we need to do is improve our own capabilities of technology so that we deserve to have a major share of the battery market, the photovoltaic market and the like. And I think one model of that is Semitech, the public-private partnership that got put together back in the 80s, I think early 80s, when we were very worried that we wouldn't be doing any chip manufacture anymore because it was all headed for Asia. Well, we got the major producers, Intel and others, together. We waived some of the antitrust provisions. We let them cooperate. We let them share technology. And we ended up with a situation in which chip manufacture was not kept completely in the United States, of course, but we still do a lot of it, and we had a lot bigger hand in it than we would have if we had done business as usual. That with some of the key technologies for transportation, batteries and photovoltaics, I think, are two examples. There may well be others. Do on these key technologies need to take some steps to make sure that we're keeping some aspects of manufacturing and the rest here, and that we're benefiting from it in the form of jobs in these high technology areas and so forth.
Because the battery is not much different than oil, is it? We're either going to buy oil or we're going to buy a battery from someone else.
Well, frankly, I would much rather be buying batteries from the Japanese and Canadians than oil from OPEC. It's not just a question of
and as you know, we buy most of our oil from the Canadians.
Well, we buy oil and gas, and it's not just a question of imports versus domestic. That is one aspect of it, and doing more domestically, whether it's battery production or it's photovoltaic production, or even for this transitional period, oil drilling and production. It helps with respect to balance of payments and value of the dollar, but that's not the only issue. There's an overarching issue of oil being principally in the hands of the world's dictators and despots. So it's not just a question of where we buy what and balance of payments. That has its importance. The key thing is to drive to destroy oil's monopoly over transportation, the way salt's monopoly over meat preservation was destroyed in the 1880s, and to destroy that monopoly as quickly and as devastatingly as possible.